What's up, guys? A-Rated Gamer back with another gaming news video, and today we have three wonderfully interesting stories. And the title story, oh boy, this should get you excited. It's certainly getting me excited. We'll save that for last, though. So we're gonna start with a continuation of a story we've already covered. G2A has responded to Gearbox. By the way, all three of these articles are on PCGamer.com. They were written, well, this one and the last one were written today, but the second one, excuse me, was written the 8th of April. However, this is gaming news, April the 10th, 2017, and let's begin with G2A responds to Gearbox after Gearbox makes many demands in order to fully cooperate with G2A and release the collector's edition exclusively on G2A. Now, G2A has responded and is quoted as saying that Gearbox has made defamatory statements and it will not change its business. So Gearbox and G2A, if you didn't know, Gearbox is releasing Bulletstorm, the full clip edition, and, well, they didn't do their research, according to most journalists, and, well, now they got caught in a deal with a shady business, which I've already said I don't think G2A is shady. I'll still give them my money as long as, nothing happens where I lose my key or I lose my game. And I also have G2A. I usually buy G2A Shield because it's only like $1 more. So I will continue to give my money to G2A. But today, G2A made a statement of its own. In fact, I'll read you that statement right now. It's a very long statement. I'll read you the brief intro and conclusion. And this is exactly from G2A's website, or G2A News website, which I think is affiliate of G2A. This last week brought forth a lot of confusion and caused a lot of inaccurate information to appear on the internet about G2A.com. Though this saddens us, at the same time we are also glad to have the opportunity to thoroughly explain many of the inaccuracies and misunderstandings tied to G2A.com. That's how they're spelling it, or that's how they're writing it, by the way. It all began with a few negative reactions from some YouTubers, in particular from John Told a Biscuit Bane, to an announcement that G2A.com is working together with Gearbox Publishing. Our partner, Gearbox Publishing, unfortunately decided to publicly publish a letter with a list of ultimatums without consulting us about the truth of the allegations made by John Bain. This is an excellent example that rash actions without full knowledge of the facts can be harmful to both the developer and the marketplace, especially since all of the requests made of G2A.com and the ultimatum have in fact long been part of our marketplace. Now, I disagree with some of their claims that they have been following all of these requests, especially the G2A Shield. Like, really? Just provide a free option. Don't charge an extra $1 for it. That's kind of shady. And I also disagree with the fact that they're saying this hurt Gearbox. I think this did nothing but help Gearbox. It was some free publicity, got people talking about the game, including myself, and I think Bulletstorm, I didn't even know Bulletstorm was coming out until I heard about this news story. So Gearbox did their job in advertising, and I think G2A is the only one that got hurt in this whole situation. I think honestly the best thing they could do is follow Gearbox's request, but it's too late now. The ball's already rolling. That's only the introduction. This is the conclusion, which is about just as long. G2A.com's goal is to provide the best possible conditions for both buyers and sellers while providing the best prices for legal games. We do everything in our power to uphold the best possible relationships with developers and ensure the highest standards in the fight against dishonest sellers. At the same time, we respect our critics and believe that they have the good of the industry at heart. Unfortunately, sometimes they do not understand how G2A.com works, and as such, this misunderstanding causes them to mislead the public about our company. The best proof of this are the 4 ultimatums formulated in part by John Bain, which it turns out that were completely unnecessary, as all of the issues raised have long been a part of the G2A.com marketplace. Most of the allegations levied against us are based on both a lack of knowledge and a lack of desire to learn the other side of the story. The best example of this is quoting false and defamatory statements while ignoring the facts. This is why we constantly emphasize that we are open to meetings and discussions with anyone who has doubts about how our marketplace works. Best regards, some guy's name I can't pronounce, and the G2A.com team. I would have to agree with them that Total Biscuit did kind of blow this out of proportion. He did kind of overreact. He's saying, G2A is a shady business. He's not going to buy Bulletstorm if they put G2A on there. But, the man's entitled to his opinion. I just disagree with how he expressed his opinion, or with his actual opinion is. I do think that G2A should try to improve their website and try to consider some of the changes suggested by Gearbox. Even if they don't end up doing the Gearbox deal after all, I do think they should decide to change some of their ways and maybe make G2A Shield free. That's the biggest point I care about, if you haven't noticed. And that's pretty much it. There's a lot more that they've said in this post. In fact, they have 3 other sections describing developers, G2A Shield, and transparency. And you could go check that out on news.g2a.com. There's an official statement. But that's all for that story. Next story. Far Cry 4 director has left Ubisoft and has started a new studio. This man named Alex Hutchinson is a big developer at Ubisoft. He directed Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed 3, which I played part of Far Cry 4, and I've played other Assassin's Creed games. Not Assassin's Creed 3, though. I remember when that came out. That was a very big anticipated release. I think it took place in revolutionary America. Anyway, off track. He has left Ubisoft and decided to form his own company called Typhoon Studios. I do look forward to some of the games that this guy's going to release. Even if they're small-scale indie games, I do hope he gets a lot of backing because, well, I've heard Ubisoft is really, really cruel with their developers and forces them to work a very long time without seeing their family sometimes in order to develop a game to meet a deadline. And, there's the famous Ubisoft bait and switch that they hold their developers to an ungodly high standard that no one could make, especially those working, I've heard, 16 hours a day. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that. And not being able to see their families for maybe 6 months at a time. That may be a little extreme, but I've heard that from somewhere. That may not be true. I'll have to... Don't take my word for it, but I think I've heard that somewhere. Anyway, Alex Hutchinson has not just worked with Ubisoft. Before he worked with Ubisoft, he worked at EA, another shady company. He worked on games such as Spore, The Sims 2. I gotta sneeze. By the way, I didn't know Spore was created by EA. I thought it was an independent game or an indie game. And he also helped create Army of Two: The 40th Day. Never heard of that game. And PC Gamer has vowed to keep up on Hutchinson Typhoon Studios and report back when the first game is announced. I hope they come out with something at E3. I think that'd be a little insane. But I hope they are able to do something at E3. I mean, Hideo Kojima was able to do something at E3 after Konami cut ties, but I don't know if Hutchinson has quite as big as a following as Kojima did, so we'll have to see what the future holds for Alex Hutchinson and Typhoon Studios, which is great. And on to the story in the title that all of us have been waiting for. This is a very, and I quote, very thin rumor from PC Gamer. And basically, the rumor is that a new Knights of the Old Republic game, be it Knights of the Old Republic 3, is in development at BioWare Austin Studios. I would absolutely love for this game to come out. A guy by the name of Liam Robertson at BioWare Austin, who developed the Old Republic MMO, is starting a rumor. Or excuse me, Liam Robertson is an industry insider, nothing to do with the development. But the rumor is that BioWare Austin, who developed the Old Republic MMO, is now developing a new Knights of the Old Republic game. Oh my goodness. And it says that BioWare Austin is doing Star Wars games exclusively, and they're looking to do that for the near future, which is wonderful. But it could either be a sequel or a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. They don't really know, but it's leaning towards a remake of Knights of the Old Republic, which I would still totally play, because I've played Knights of the Old Republic and I love that game. So, this guy named John Sansbury tweeted at this other guy who works at BioWare Austin named Drew Karpyshyn. He said, "Hey Drew, are you working on a new game?" And Mr. Karpyshyn replied, "Yes, but that's all I can say. Oh, I might have already said too much." And there's some people that are like poking fun that because of Mass Effect Andromeda and the face glitches, but that's been fixed now, so I do hope for a new Knights of the Old Republic game. And Karpyshyn said in a different tweet that despite being back at BioWare for well over a year, he didn't work on Mass Effect Andromeda, and some people are saying that's because he's busy developing the new KOTOR game. So, I'm very hopeful for a new Knights of the Old Republic game. Oh man, I love Knights of the Old Republic. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Gaming news, February the 10th, 2017. Thank you all very much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.